this class we are going to see about DC generator characteristics. It has three characteristics. First one is no load saturation characteristics, that is the graph between E0 and IF. Second one is internal or total characteristics, it is the graph between E and IA armature current. And third one is external characteristics, that is the graph between terminal voltage V and I. So there are three characteristics for the DC generator. We will see one by one. First one is no load or magnetic characteristics. It is also known as magnetic characteristics or open circuit characteristics, that is OCC. It shows the relation between the no load generated EMF in armature E0 and the field or exciting current IF. It is the graph between no load generated EMF E0 and the field or exciting current IF at a given fixed speed. It is just the magnetization curve for the material of the electromagnets. That's its shape is practically the same for all generators, whether separately excited or self-excited. Its shape is practically the same for all generators, whether separately excited or self-excited. And second characteristics is internal or total characteristics. So it is the graph between E and IA. It gives the relation between EMF actually induced in the armature, that is after allowing for the demagnetizing effect of armature reaction. What is meant by armature reaction? It is the action of armature MMF on the main field MMF. It is the action of armature MMF on the main field MMF and the armature current IA. This characteristics is of interest mainly to the designer. Internal or total characteristics is the relation between EMF actually induces in the armature and the armature current IA. This characteristics is of interest mainly to the designer. And third one is external characteristics. It is the graph between V and I. It is also referred to as performance characteristics or sometimes voltage regulating curve. It gives relation between the terminal voltage V and the load current. It gives relation between the terminal voltage V and the load current I. This curve lies below the internal characteristics because it takes into account the voltage drop over the armature circuit resistance. The value of V are obtained by subtracting the IARA from the corresponding value of E, that is E minus IARA equal to V. This characteristics is of great importance in judging the suitability of a generator for a particular purpose. The figure shows the separately excited generator. The field winding, that is the shunt winding, is excited by the separate DC supply, and the graph between field current and EG, that is E0, gives the no load saturation characteristics. It is the graph between E0 and IF. It shows the relationship between field current and E0. It is a magnetization curve for the separately excited generator. It is same for the self-excited DC generator. Let us see the load saturation curve between V and IF. The curve showing relation between the terminal voltage V and field current IF when the generator is loaded is known as load saturation curve. The figure 28.3 gives the load saturation curve between voltage V and field current IF. Okay, the curve showing relation between the terminal voltage V and field current IF when the generator is loaded is known as load saturation curve. The curve can be deduced from the no load saturation curve provided the values of armature reaction and armature resistance are known. And second diagram shows the internal and external characteristics of the DC shunt generator. See the no load curve for self-excited generator. It is same as for the separately excited DC generator. The diagram shows the self-excited generator. The field winding of the generator, whether shunt or series wound, is disconnected from the machine and connected to an external source of direct current as shown in figure 28.4. Okay. The field or exciting current IF is varied rheostatically and its value read on the ammeter A. The machine is driven at constant speed by the prime mover and the generated EMF on no load is measured by the voltmeter connected across the armature. IF is increased by suitable steps starting from 0 and the corresponding values of E0 are measured. On plotting the relationship between IF and E0, a curve of this form shown in figure 28.5 is obtained. This figure is called as no load curve for the self-excited generator. Then critical speed. Critical speed of a shunt generator is that speed for which the given Shunt field resistance represents the critical resistance. Critical speed of a shunt generator is that speed for which the given shunt field resistance represents critical resistance is called as critical speed. Then the magnetization curve at 1500 rpm is plotted in the figure. Then voltage build-up of a shunt generator. Before loading a shunt generator, it is allowed to build up its voltage. Usually, there is always present some residual magnetism in the poles. Hence, a small EMF is produced initially. This EMF circulates a small current in the field circuit, which increases the pole flux. When flux is increased, generated EMF is increased, which further increases the flux and so on. Conditions for build-up of a shunt generator. Conditions for build-up of a voltage in a shunt generator. We may summarize the conditions necessary for the build-up of a self-excited generator as follows. There must be some residual magnetism in the generator poles. For the given direction of rotation, the shunt field coil should be correctly connected to the armature. If excited on open circuit, its shunt field resistance should be less than the critical resistance. If excited on load, then its shunt field resistance should be more than a certain minimum value of resistance. External characteristics. These are the three main reasons for the drop in terminal voltage of a shunt generator when under load. First one is armature resistance drop. As the load current increases, more and more voltage is consumed in the ohmic resistance of the armature circuit. Hence, the terminal voltage V equal to E minus IaRa is decreased, where E is induced EMF in the armature under load condition. And second one is armature reaction drop. Due to the demagnetizing effect of armature reaction, pole flux is weakened and so the induced EMF in the armature is decreased. And third one is the drop in terminal voltage V due to 1 and 2 results in a decreased field current, which further reduces the induced EMF. Voltage regulation. By voltage regulation of a generator is meant the change in its terminal voltage with the change in load current when it is running at a constant speed. Change in its terminal voltage with the change in load current when it is running at a constant speed is noted as voltage regulation. If the change in voltage between no load and full load is very small, then the generator is said to have a good regulation, but if the change in voltage is large, then it has poor regulation. The voltage regulation of a DC generator is the change in voltage when the load is reduced from the rated value to the zero, expressed as percentage of the rated voltage. Students, in this class we are going to discuss about the problems using DC generator. First one, a 250 volt 10 kilowatt separately excited generator has an induced EMF of 250 volt at full load. If the brush drop is 2 volt per brush, calculate the armature resistance of the generator. The question is we have to find out the value of armature resistance. The given values are Vt, power, brush voltage and Eg. They are the given data. For the separately excited generator, the value of Ia equal to IL, from which we have to find out the value of IL and brush drop. From the power formula, power equal to Vt into IL, we can find the value of load current IL equal to power divided by voltage. Power will be in kilowatts, so we have to convert the kilowatts into watts. Therefore, 10 into 10 to the power of 3 divided by 250 volt, that gives the 40 ampere, that is the load current, that is equal to armature current for the separately excited DC generator. Then we have to find out the value of armature resistance, that is the question. So for the armature resistance, we have to go to the formula for induced EMF E. That induced EMF E for the separately excited generator is Vt plus IaRa plus V brush. Here there are two brushes and the voltage drop per brush equal to 2 volt. Therefore V brush equal to 2 into 2 equal to 4 volt. That is for pair of brushes, 2 into 2 equal to 4 volt. Then apply the formula for Eg. Eg we already known in the given in the problem, that is the 255 volt. Then apply the formula, that is E equal to 255, that is equal to 250 plus 40 into Ra plus 4, from which we can find out the value of Ra. The value of Ra is 0.025 ohm. Next problem, a short shunt compound DC generator supplies a current of 75 ampere at a voltage of 225. Calculate the generated voltage if the resistance of armature, shunt field and series field winding are 0.04 ohm, 0.90 ohm and 0.02 ohm respectively. Here the load current is 75 ampere and the voltage Vt is equal to 225 volt, Ra is 0.04 ohm RSH is 0.90 ohm and RSE is 0.02 ohm. They are the given data. We have to find out the value of generated voltage, that is EG. It is a short shunt compound generator. So these are the given data. So we have to find out the value of EG for the short shunt generator. So see the diagram. From the diagram we can find out the value of IA. That is IA equal to IL plus ISH. IA equal to IL plus ISH, since the armature resistance is in parallel with the shunt field resistance. Therefore IA equal to IL plus ISH. Then E equal to VT plus IARA plus IL RSE. This is the formula for generated voltage. EG equal to VT plus IARA plus IL RSE for the short shunt compound generator. IA equal to IL plus ISH. So we have to find out the value of ISH, and by parallel combination we can find out the value of E minus IARA is equal to VT plus IL RSE. E minus IARA equal to VT plus IL RSE. Therefore apply the formula. VT is 225 volt, IL is 75 and RSE is 0.02 ohm. Then E minus IARA, that is equal to 226.5 volt. ISH equal to E minus IARA divided by RSH. E minus IARA is 226.5 volt divided by the value of RSH is, the given data for the RSH is 0.90 ohm. So apply the formula. Then we can find out the value of ISH is 2.5167 ampere. Then IA equal to IL plus ISH. IL is 75 ampere. ISH is 2.5167 ampere. Then the value of IA is 77.5167 ampere. Then the formula for EG equal to VT plus IARA plus IL RSE. VT is 225 volt. IARA is 77.5167 and RA is 0.04 ohm plus IL is 75, RSE is 0.02. Therefore the answer for the EG is 229.6 volt.